Hello, hello. Grand day, everybody. How are
Hello,
we today?
hello.
Sandra, how are you today?
I'm grand. I'm glorious. We're about to talk to Rob, and I'm flying high.
I
He's
feel
a
you on that.
six density complex stuff. Memory. Mm, mm, mm.
So, today on this live podcast, myself, Marcus Christolight, and Sandra wanted to go over some very sacred text and what really could be in a level of scripture when it comes to the type of knowledge and wisdom that can be acquired through this book that we're going to be going through, which is also a channeling and channel message from multiple beings as well. And it's called The Raw Material, The Law of One. Now, there are multiple books and versions of this book that you can find around the world. There's also multiple parts. There is a part 2 as well. And as we begin, I actually wanted to play a real short video about Ra, and it's from a well-known figure of ours that we know, and his name is Bashar.
All right. Bashar. I know of him well.
Humanity moving from third density to fourth density consciousness, especially relating to the pivotal year 2012 that many feel marks a shift point. He touches on the metaphors of harvesting and frequencies that allow souls to graduate into higher planes of existence. Let's have a listen.
I've been reading some material on the Law of One
Yes.
by Ra,
Yes.
and it resonates very deeply with me.
Yes.
And he talks about us moving from third density to fourth density.
Yes.
And one of the questions I had for you when you said earlier that 2012 symbolizes a lot of different things.
Yes.
Third to fourth density, I'm assuming, is one of those things that we're...
Yes.
Okay. And they talk about a harvest.
Yes.
And they talk about the frequency of individuals being harvested into fourth density.
It is a euphemism.
Okay.
In that you are simply raising yourself, your pitch, your vibration to be more harmonious with a new reality idea. For some of you, it will happen rapidly. Some of you, it will take a little bit longer. But the idea of harvesting is that in that sense, you are reaping yourselves.
Okay.
Reaping the results of the vibration you are choosing to be.
So they say that it's the dichotomy, service to others or service to self.
Yes.
They say in this material that you need to be more than 50% oriented to service to others to go into the fourth density, and 95% more or more oriented to service of self to go into that fourth density. The ones in the middle are in that kind of state right now where it's undecided, and then there's some that are just going to remain in third density.
In a sense, that is true, although it doesn't necessarily serve you to think of these things in terms of percentages.
Okay.
The idea really is plain and simple. The more you are willing to be what you believe yourself to be, you will simply find yourself where you need to be when you need to be there.
Now that you've listened to the clip, let's unpack the concepts discussed. The
Wow.
transition from third density to fourth density is a metaphorical journey of personal growth and spiritual evolution. It's about raising your vibrational frequency, aligning yourself with a higher consciousness, and embracing a more harmonious reality. The idea of harvesting refers to the culmination of your efforts in personal development, where you reap the benefits of the vibrations you've chosen to embody. It's important to note that this process isn't about achieving a specific percentage of growth, but rather committing to authentic self-expression and service to others. In the context of the law of one, being oriented towards service to others means embodying compassion, empathy, and understanding. This doesn't imply self-sacrifice, but rather acknowledges the interconnectedness of all beings and the importance of contributing to the collective good. So to help integrate these concepts into your life, I encourage you to take 5 minutes of quiet meditation where you bring your full focus and attention to answering the question, who do I believe myself to be? Allow whatever truths bubble up from your inner being to emerge without judgment. Feel the vibration of these truths, then set the intention to more fully walk your talk, to be, do, and express whatever arises for you. Live your soul print. The more we can stand in our power and spiritual identity, the more we organically shift into higher states of being. Our lives become synchronistic reflections of our inner realm. This is the path of ascension available to all.
Thank you, Marcus.
Wow.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Wow. Right?
So
When
that, ladies and gentlemen,
I read that, it's yeah. And I love the fact that as we expand in our inner light, as we came in waves. There were many of us that came in waves, and how Ra connects with the divine design and connects with Dolores Cannon, and all these, even though they give us different versions, it all interconnects. That we're here to bring a amount of light energy for Earth consciousness, for humanity, for us to grow and shift and grow and expand. And the harvest is that it could be that we would be plucked from this old Earth into a new Earth, and it would be parallel. That's totally a possibility, which like lit me up, and I mean, whoa. I mean, that we could start seeing 3D from a fourth density lens or a fifth density lens, and we don't have to move anywhere to do it. We just move density. We can be parallel an old world and still be shifted. What do you think about that? I mean, that excites me, but what do you think about that? In everything that Ra has said that you have learned?
Oh man. So this is like one of my favorite topics, is like talking about multidimensional awareness and the mentalism of the universe and what we're able and capable of being able to metaphysically experience and mentally experience as well in this realm. And it's quite vast. And I mean, when I say vast, there's probably like no real edge to what we can experience mentally. And when I think of Ra and the Law of One, I also think of the Kabbalion too. And the Kabbalion is the Hermetic principles. The Hermetic principles are the teachings of Thoth, or Yehuti in the Egyptian terms. And those teachings talk about basically the principles and the functioning mechanics behind how energy and the universe functions as consciousness, vibration, frequency, and beyond. So when you get into that, one of those principles of the Kabbalion or the Hermetic principles is the law of mentalism, that the all is mental, that the universe is of mental vibration. So with that being said, when we are kind of examining or studying these concepts and these structures of what it is that we see the universe or creation to be as on the outside, it is really of, the adepts and of the masters to relate that to inside and inward as they're also studying the outward. And with that, when you bring it more of an inward study with the outward, you can start to see that it's not that we need to take our physical bodies into a fourth dimension or fifth dimensional realm to experience it. It's just that we have to adjust our mental scope, our vibration level, and the mentalism of our focus. And through that mental focus and mentalism, we are able to, through our mind and our mental body, which that's a whole other topic for another discussion, is the multidimensional bodies of the human being, from the physical to the light body to the energy body to the emotional and mental and beyond. So when you tap more into that mental realm, you're able to expand into a more larger auric field or a more larger body within the Russian doll set, so to say. When you look at our aura, and actually, let me go ahead here, if you don't mind, Sandee. I'm gonna pull up a image of the human aura, so I can kind of give a little visual for what I'm explaining here.
Alrighty then.
Pull up here is basically when you look at the human multidimensional auric field, we have multiple layers or multiple bodies within our aura. So if you look here at this image, whenever it's ready. There we go. So if you look here at this image, you can see that there are multiple layers here. And with these multiple layers, there's different bodies, so to say, quote unquote. And these different bodies occupy different dimensions or different energetic properties of our multidimensional self. So your physical body is your most dense or the lowest vibrational body of your human being. And then the next one is your energy body, which is the metaphysical body, which is your chakras, your meridian centers, and things of that nature. And then you have your mental and emotional bodies. Now, due to your mental body being one of these larger and more out there bodies within our auric field, it is therefore able to be at a more quicker, accelerated light speed than the physical dense body. And with that being said, it's able to be more in the quantum mechanic realm of functioning. And with that being said as well, the mental body is more expanded. There's more information, there's more experience that you can go through at a more quicker rate through your mental body. So this is why we're able to do mental traveling astrally into different spaces and into other type of mental travels and manifestations. So to kind of sum up what you were asking me, when you kind of come more into that awareness of the law of mentalism and understanding that the dimensions are not just, illusionary experiences on the outside, but they are mental experiences within our mental body or mental self that we basically project and experience through our mind. And with that being said, the more that you reprogram, the more that you condition, and the more that you rewire your subconscious to then be brought into your conscious, you're able to then naturally tap into these different realms due to the programming or the alignment that you've programmed yourself to. And those are some of the key things I've really gotten from that.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
You can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. On my end, something happened. So I just want to make sure everybody can still hear me. And to that, I'm going to, I have the book of Ra. I don't know if you could see it if I'm holding it up. It might be a little lag time there. Anyway, it looks to me, I can see it like lagging behind. So forgive me. It says, in order to be more efficient, this is Ra, we are attempting to create first a state of seeking among people of this planet who desire to seek. This would be those who are close to the acceptable levels of vibration. Those above this level are, of course, as great of an interest to us, since they have might be said the grade. What I'm trying to get to is the fact that they are not giving, or Ra did not come to give information to prove anything to us that would take away from our free will to believe it. He's just giving you it as information, and he's offering the proof of just truth, as his truth as spoken through the divine of the law of one. I thought I would just share that, because that's what the harvesting is about, is us learning or having wisdom and understanding come through to us as we believe it to be true for us, and for us to grow and expand in that information of us. It's not about us looking at other people to make sure they know what we know. We can share the information, and then they have to grow within the information that you're given, just like Ra is giving it to us. And I was like, whoa, it's not about burden of proof. It's just about us sharing, or the divine sharing the truth with us, and us deciding when the truth is worthy of evolving to the next step. And I thought that was like, that's on, if anybody has the book. And the last part of it, I had to paraphrase. It's on page 38 and the top of 39. He says, we offer them no concrete proof, as they have a way of expressing it. We offer them the truth. This is an important function of our message, to offer truth without proof. In this way, the motivation will, in each and every case, come from within the individual, within us. I just thought that was like, here we go within, so without. Thank you for allowing me to share that, Marcus.
You know,
Can you guys? Okay.
wow, that is, you know, that one's really, oof.
Wow. It blows you away, right?
Yeah, because, you know, it's really hard to explain this, but the way that I can explain it is kind of like, you know, there's a difference between coming from a place of needing like to feel satisfaction, to feel a like dependency, or to feel a uprise from, you know, having knowledge and sharing it. And then there's a difference from that compared to when you just are like, I guess the word would be matured with the knowledge, and you just understand that the knowledge for everybody and it's the knowledge of everybody. So it's not like you're more special than anybody else because you have a certain acquiring of knowledge in this present moment. And you can really see the difference of the intentional energy and where the being, I'm not going to say the person, the being is coming from when exchanging the information and knowledge. And it truly is a different energy, different intention when it's out of self gain, or if it's out of, yeah, this is just our universal truth. I'm just here to be a vessel, to be a medium, to share it. And quite honestly, I'm detached from your human reality because it really doesn't have an effect on what it is that I'm supposed to be connected with and to. So, you know, it's like it's here for you and it'll always be here for you. And it's there if you want to. It's completely your choice because we have been blessed and gifted with this beautiful thing called free will in this dimension and realm. And with that free will, there is no right or wrong to what we choose. It's really just about energy, frequency, and vibration. And with that energy, frequency, and vibration comes density. That density can come into attachments, wounds, and other things. And then we kind of label that as what we can kind of call karmic energy in a way. And then it's all still free will. And we just accumulate this karmic and dharmic energy through our free will. And then there's the beauty of it. And I'll pass it back over after this is like, we are loved so unconditionally and so deeply by the mother, father, creator, that no matter what we think in our mind, no matter what we feel in our heart, no matter what we choose to do out of our free will, we will always have that next moment of energy. Whether we're handicapped, in a hospital, walking down the street, sitting on this live right now, we have that next energy moment of whatever that is. And through that next energy moment comes the next energy moment. And then we just continue that and it never stops. That's the thing. And sometimes we get caught up in these destination mindsets where then we build these fake walls. And then we keep hitting these walls because we keep putting these false limitations and these false timelines on things. And then we wonder why we get angry or upset or we feel resentful and stuff. When really it's just our spirit being like, hey, you know, you should let yourself be free a little bit more while you're in this free will state. I'll pass it back to you though.
So, oh man, yes. I think most of us human beings, this free will thing, it weighs us down. I wanna read something else that Ra says. I am Ra. we shall begin with the first of 3 teaching/learning. We begin with the mental learning teaching necessary to connect or contact intelligent infinity. The prerequisite to mental work is the ability to retain silence of yourself at a steady state when required by yourself. The mind must be open like a door, and the key is silence. So there are the Ra's saying that you can go within, that the key to it is to be silent and allow yourself to go inward, that we have all that we need within us if we're willing to be silent, if we're willing to take upon us the mental learning and teaching. It's not above anyone. No one is above that. Everyone can learn. Everyone can be taught. Everyone can learn and listen. There isn't just one set of one person or one set or one group of people that can't get downloads or can't go into themselves and pull that energy out of them, because they have it. Ra just said, I've come here not to usurp your free will, but to give you the information. And then you take what you need and you grow you, right? So the first was mental learning. The second is mental discipline. It's doing it over and over. Ra says the second mental discipline is acceptance of the completeness of or within your consciousness. To allow yourself to just flow. Marcus and I was talking about sometimes the flow state can be kind of thick and kind of heavy, but it's in you that you're flowing. What do you see? What do you hear? How do you hear it? Ra's saying we're giving it to you, but we can't do it for you. That's what my higher being kept telling me every time I read this. It's like, we come here. Ra came 11,000 years before, gave the information, and then they misused it, and they had to leave. So then Ra is back now in the 1950s, giving this information again for someone who was ready to take it and then write it down, and not just one, not just a book one, but they wrote many different Law of One books. And then so the second is mental discipline. The third is of the mind in repetition of the first, but with the gaze outward flow from within you out to all of humanity, to do service for others, knowing that the service that you do, your needs will always be met. Back to you, Marcus.
Man, this is... Man, I wish I had my baseball bat right now. Just be like, grand salami, right out the park. This knowledge is honestly hand in hand with what I literally have been teaching on my YouTube channel, at these festivals and these events, is about this right here. So I'm about to break it down for all y'all real quick.
Break it down.
I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down for y'all real quick. So I was showing earlier the multidimensional layers of the human being. I'm going to go ahead and pull that image up again for you guys. Okay. So you have these multiple layers within your whole entire auric field or your energy field. And then within these layers is different bodies, quote unquote. Now, these bodies are subtle bodies. They're not like, physical one-dimensional bodies. They're ever-changing and shifting energetic bodies. So some of these bodies or layers that you have is your physical body, you have your energy light body, you have your mental body, and you have your emotional and some others. So your physical body is your most dense and lowest vibrational body form of your human being. Therefore, it is the one that is the slowest to manifest, and it is the slowest to receive information and integrate it fully. With that being said, the next layer from your physical body is your energy body or your light body. Your energy body or your light body encompasses your chakras and your meridian centers. Along with that is also your toroidal field and your electromagnetic system. Through your toroidal field and through your electromagnetic system is how you become alive. It is how you become active and activated within your physical avatar. Your physical avatar without the light body has no life whatsoever. So your light body, everybody has a light body. Therefore, everybody is psychic. Everybody's intuitive. Everybody can tap into the Akashic records. Everybody can astral travel. These are things that everybody can do because we all have a multidimensional human being. With that being said, the key to accessing more efficiently, more naturally, and more fluidly your intuitive abilities and your psychic abilities is to have that energy system or light body properly healed and online. Now, your DNA is what binds your light body to your physical body. That's why when you talk about DNA, your DNA has light codes or it has light within it. These codes and information is the matrix. The matrix is nothing more than the codes and the blueprints behind the physical reality. We all are a matrix. We're all experiencing as a matrix, through a matrix, and everything else to do with a matrix. You never escape a matrix. The matrix can also be known as the mother, as the matrix is all of creation. So back to the energy and light body. And the more that we have our chakras and energy centers balanced and cleared, and the more that we have, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up here another diagram real quick, just to give a look to what it looks like when our energy centers are flowing properly. So when you look here, when your energy centers or your chakras or your wheels of light, in many different terms, are activated and online, they're in motion, circulating properly. Now, I want you to look at this 2D diagram, two-dimensional diagram. Yes, it's flat, it's motionless. But when you're visualizing this and looking at this diagram, I want you to think of it as third dimensional and moving and motion. So these wheels or chakras are rotating and trying to properly rotate in a balanced sense. So when they're not rotating properly, these different pranas, kundalini, life force energies, vitality, whatever you would like to name it, is trying to raise up your spine and raise up your organs and your being and your energy centers. if these chakras are blocked up and not rotating properly, then the streams of energies get caught in those different layers of our vibrational being. And as they get caught, this is when we start seeing different illnesses, dis-ease throughout the being, as well as other manifestations of imbalances that create illness and other different forms that we wish to not have in our true happiness and pure state of being. So with that being said, when this is fully clear and our chakras and energy centers are flowing correctly, this prana or life force or kundalini energy is able to properly be expressed, and it's properly flowing through our being. And as it's doing so, it is consciousness itself. So this life force, or that we also call chi, that is stored within our meridian centers in different areas of our body, is a gateway to consciousness stored within our human body. And that's why we have many practices such as Tai Chi, yoga, chakra balancing, breathwork, Qigong, and beyond that deal with activating your Qi. The Qi allows consciousness to flow through your being on its own, bringing natural healing and natural living without needing to force your life or have to do much in your life, because you'll have a natural connection with consciousness flowing through you that basically guides you as you guide it through your actions.
Yes. Woo. Yes. Okay. So, peeps. Yes. Let me, on page 95, I'm going to read you a question that the questioner asked Ra. The questioner said, I think that it would be appropriate to discover how the law of one acts in the transfer of beings on our planet and the action of harvest. Now, harvest, now we found out that harvest doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you're getting plucked up. It means that you're through your wisdom and understanding, you're growing and expanding and shifting into new consciousness, into moving into from a third density consciousness into a fourth density consciousness, or some people have even moved into fifth density and 144th density, depending on how well they've been, growing and expanding, right? So this is what Ra said. Ra said, I am Ra. The law of one states simply that all things are one and that all beings are one. There are certain behaviors and thought forms consonant with the understanding and the practice of the law of one. Those who who are finishing a cycle of experience demonstrate grades of distortion. That just means vibration of that understanding of thought and action will be separate. Will be separate by their own choice. They get to choose into vibration. They get to choose it. They get to be comfortable within their mind, body, and their spirit complex of who they are. This process is guarded and watched by those maturing beings who are very close to the law of one. Whether you call it your angels or whether you call it your whatever your label is for the higher beings that are watching over you, the consciousness that are watching over you. They're watching over you. Now they're watching over you, but they cannot do anything that's against your free will or against what's highest for what you believe is for your highest and greatest good. Guess what? You have to give them permission to do that. Your guardian angels can only kind of, slightly nudge something, but they can't do anything unless you give them free will. Or through your free will, you give them permission. Now, get this. That is also the same way for entities who come into your space that are on the lower or that are seeking to find out about the negative polarity, right? So then it says, thus the illusion is created of light, and more properly, but understandably, it is in the light love, right? So this vibration is all ours. And we have a lot. If Ra can come and give us this information, if we can get this information from the waves of the 3 waves of volunteers, if we can get this information from the divine design, if we can get this information from Michael B. Beckwith's book and Aaron Abke and Marcus and me, this information is being imparted to you. But Ra says, we can't make you do anything more than your free will give you. You get to make the choice on every level. And there's so much more. This book right here is literally 236 pages. Diane Cannon's book that I'm just about to finish reading is over 500 pages. The divine design is she never thought she'd be writing, having a channeled writing of a book. These people are no different than you. No different than you or I or Marcus. The divine is always speaking to us. Are we listening?
Are we listening? And just like we just spoke on, is our energy field clear enough to be able to process and listen to? That's that factor that we kind of forget, is like, how clear is our magnetic system? How clear is our electrical system within our being? Wow, this is a
It can be so deep, so deep.
So I want to read this real quick. It's my Yogi Tea message for the collective today, and it goes hand in hand with what we just said. Like you're saying, we choose our experiences as soul beings. No matter what we choose, there really is no right or wrong. Like, it doesn't matter how dark it is, how light it is. It's all an experience. It's an illusion of the actual truth and like the wholeness of reality. So with that being said, you're always going to be given what they call, grace and mercy for the choices that you make, because it's your absolute free will to experience something. And then through that experience, you experience the cause and effects of it. And through the cause and effects, you then learn different lessons, or you gain different wisdoms. And then you accumulate that information and knowledge, you integrate it into your system, and then you disperse and release anything else that no longer serves, and continue on. And that's literally what we're doing here. But it says, never regret your mistakes. Admire the courage it took to attempt the unknown. Yogi T.
To attempt the unknown. That's what we're here today, to take you into the unknown and make the unknown known. But we can't do that for you. We can deliver a message, and the message is of the perception of truth that we believe. It does not have to be your truth. You have to seek that out from within for yourself. How you do that? You were given feelings. You were given emotions. And most people tell you Skip over the feelings, skip over the emotion. Don't feel the negative feelings. Try to bombard it with a positive feeling. But the thing is, if you skip over the negative feeling or the negative emotion, you miss the journey. The journey to change it, to grow it, to expand it, to shift it, to evolve through it, and to become more. Right? These are all our tools that we were given. Now, most of what Ross said, there was a part of the book that I got through Ra, and there was stuff that I couldn't understand based on the terminology that was being used, that Ra used at that time. He was speaking with scientists who were asking the questions, and when he would answer them, he made sure that he was not usurping humankind's free will. So he had to use words like distortion and different words. Well, when I fell short of understanding that, I had to ask the divine, show me what I need to know. Show me in spirit what I need to know, or what I need to see, or how I need to hear it. And the divine showed me the Divine Design book by Lori Ladd. When I started reading it, I went, oh, this was what Ra was talking about. And I started to connect my dots, my puzzle pieces. Matter of fact, that's how I found out that my whole puzzle base that was called life for me was changing. That I was beginning to understand the expansiveness of growth. Sometimes, was it ever made to be easy? I'm now understanding the divine never promised us easy. The divine promised us a journey. And the divine said, I am in, through, and as you were doing it, because the divine is seeking itself from formless to form and back to formless again. For me, it makes so much sense. For me, it's such a deep dive. For me, it makes me want to cry with joy that I get to see this and feel it and utilize it all at once and not at once. I don't know if you guys will understand that. Back to you, Marcus.
And back to me. Wow, thank you for that. I really feel that. I deeply feel that, actually. Like, I feel that to the core. And I've been really feeling that more and more these days. And, I don't really like to be like, there's a war going on spiritually and things like that. But there is this thing within this matrix and this existence that there is contrast, and with contrast comes duality, and with duality comes resistance and equal and opposite forces. So that is part of the physical reality. And with that being said, really accessing this kind of knowledge, but not just accessing it, because really anybody can go on Amazon and order it, or anybody can go listen to an audio version of it, but being able to truly receive it, receive the information, receive the pure original message of what is intended for. And when we are gifted with that blessing of being able to truly receive and be able to integrate this kind of knowledge into our being, into our system, it's really nothing short of life-changing at all, compared to anything else that you can think of in your whole life that you would consider, pretty major and life-changing. This is, it's a way to really bring your consciousness and bring your vibration into a space of natural empowerment, is the way I want to word that. Because there's many different forms of empowerment. There's different ways of power. And when I say natural empowerment, I mean, so through this knowledge, through this information, you're able to become more deeply aware of what it is that you come from, what it is that you're created from, and what you are a part of, and much more than that too. But when you can really kind of come into a space of grounding that in and really feeling at one with that, it can really heal many parts of you that you may not even know if needed healing, or parts of you that you have been struggling with or have found yourself really seeking something more outside of you. This can really help you in a way be able to re-solidify that inner connection with whatever it is that you believe with, and your higher power, creator, or source energy. And yeah, it's amazing, these different guides we have, different ways it comes through. And the way it comes through each guide is like a different archetype or a different representation of spreading those messages. So like, with Ra is more of that masculine fire father energy. So it's like it's like straightforward, direct, and you ask questions, you get the direct answer. That's like that masculine force. Compared to, Thoth, the Atlantean, he's more connected to the moon energy. So that's like the more feminine side of the wisdom. And it's more of sharing the wisdom of, I've been through these many walks of life, and I've been through the ladder, and I've been through the lowest to the highest and the highest to the lowest 100 million times. That's the wisdom. That's the mother speaking through Thoth, compared to the father, where the father's just like the all-knowing up there, and it's just like, this is what's going on in creation. But I'm the observer looking at creation instead of being the one that's experiencing with the wisdom. It's really cool. So there's no right or wrong to like the way that you come across these sacred texts and the knowledge. It's just really like tapping in and feeling what type of archetype or what type of way best resonates for me receiving. And then Sandee, we have about 7 minutes left until the Instagram is gonna stop at an hour.
Okay. So what I'm going to say is
part 2.
Oh yes, we can. And that's what I was about to say. In our part 2, I want to deal with this. Across the board, there's what we call density and focus or orientation and form and function. And in each density, from the 1st to the 7th, right? We see evolution happen. The first density is focuses with self, pure being, existence. Second is density is others, the environment, the growth and movement. You can think of these first density as just the earth forming herself, right? Molten lava, these are the consciousnesses. And the second density, the consciousness become the environment, the trees, the growth, the movement, the animals. And the third density is also self, but it's becoming self-aware, right? Fourth density is love and sensing others first and then self. And fifth density is mind and spirit. It's about wisdom. You can see these densities as the same as our chakras, right? The sixth density is the universe. It's everything. It's all. It's unity. And then the seventh density is merging back with the creation. It's about absorption. And I'm going to be so happy. We'll talk about that in episode 2. Back to you, Marcus.
Back to me. So Now, do you want to do episode 2 right now, or are you wanting to save that for another time? Because if you want to do it right now, I'm good to go. You know, we can just hop off of this, go ahead and create it, and then get back on. I'm definitely open to that.
Oh,
Very good.
actually, I can't do it right now. I wish I could. It's about 3 o'clock. Guess who has to be walked?
The good old Puppo.
My little munch, my little
Okay.
Puppo, who's this month will be his birthday month as well as mine and yours. So yes, and then I do have to do a oracle and light language reading that I have to get ready for 5:30. So I wish we could just keep going. I really do. But can we do another one of these?
Oh yeah, that's
time?
okay.
Yeah, can we do another one of these on
yeah.
Monday, same time? What
You want
do
to
you
do it
think?
Monday? We could do it Monday. I'll just say we could do it
Monday.
anytime, really.
Okay, so well, we could do it maybe on a Thursday. How does a Thursday? This is Monday. Can we do it on Thursday? Do you have anything going on Thursday?
Thursday, I could do it, but it would have to be earlier in the day.
Okay.
So it'd have to be by like probably
I'm
1 Eastern.
I'm open. Or we can do it tomorrow. Tuesday? What's going on with you Tuesday? You guys hearing us get ready? We're getting ready to try to get you ready for episode 2.
That's right. Give us your best days in the comments. Let us know your best days to be able to watch these lives.
Yeah. Because I know Wednesday I do my star meditation, but that's not until 5:30.
I could do Wednesday if it's earlier in the day.
Yeah. You want to do a morning one?
That'd be
like
cool.
11. What's my 11:30 would be your. I could do a 9, which would be your 12. 9:30.
We could do that, or we can even do we can do 1 and 10.
Oh, okay. So you want to do 1 and 10 on Wednesday or Tuesday?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do Wednesday at 10 your time.
Okay. Did you get that, guys? I'm going to send out a flyer. 10 a.m. Eastern
Sure.
Pacific Standard Time. And that will be, 1 p.m.
This is really fun, guys. This is juicy for the first one. Like, there's some really good bits in here.
Oh, such good bits. Oof. Such good bits. And guys, I only read book 1. I'm about to, the thing was I went to try to find book 2 and Amazon said it was sold out. So, but I'm going to try again. Yeah. All right. So, you want to close this out?
Yep, I'll close this out since we are actually on the last minute and it's counting down. So everybody, I just want to say thank you all for tapping in and thank you that participated and been in the comments today. We will be back on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Western, and that will be at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And we will be live on Instagram and YouTube. The YouTube channel is Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. Thank you to all subscribers. And then on Instagram.
Are you saying 10 p.m., 10 a.m. Eastern?
Oh, it's a.m.
10 a.m.
It's
Pacific Standard Time.
Pacific time.
p.m. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. If it's like 10 p.m., I think I'll be in bed, man.
All right, everybody. It's going to cut off. Maybe not. Wow. Is this still going to go? Okay.
Is it still going?
Oh, there it goes. Okay. But yeah, that was great.
That
Still on
was
YouTube.
great.
Go ahead and end the stream. There we go.